Here are some familiar faces you would see on the main card of the Disc Golf Pro Tour Championship. Drew Gibson, number 10 ranked in the world, throws huge drives and has been hitting crazy putts all year.
Oh, yeah.
Paul McBeth, number 2 ranked in the world and 5-time world champion.
Your champion.
Adam Hammes, number 7 ranked in the world and one of the best forehands on tour.
Adam Hammes' forehand is just an absolute bazooka.
And then there's this guy, Nathan Queen. Nathan barely made his way into this tournament with a 28 seed out of 32 players. Being that low of a seed, he had to compete from back in round 1 where the other 3 players got a bye. There were over 7,000 brackets submitted with people's prediction to win the tournament, and not one of them had Nathan's name on it. He clawed his way from the bottom, round by round, making it to the final lead car on the last day of the tournament.
The Cinderella story continues today. Nathan Queen, 28th seed out of 32 players in this event.
Rounding out our lead card from Kernersville, North Carolina, please welcome Mr. Nathan Queen.
Stepping up to hole 1, he threw a great drive and then backed it up with an even better putt. Hole 2 has an amazing island basket surrounded by OB, and this was Queen's first blemish on the scorecard, coming up with a bogey.
Out of the gap, heading towards the island, but the pine straw on the right-hand side is so slippery, it's almost impossible to stay in bounds on that side.
He quickly recovered, throwing the perfect drive on hole 3.
This does set up really well for a lefty turnover. And, I mean, that's about as good as it gets, folks. That's going to get up near that bridge.
And this led to an easy birdie. After a par on hole 4, Nathan is down by 1 stroke to both McBeth and Drew Gibson coming into the 5th hole.
You get to that left-hand side.
Look at this control. Oh Nathan Queen, folks.
That shot takes Nathan to 2 under par and ties him with McBeth for the lead. Nathan continued his dominant play, keeping up with Gibson and McBeth through the first 9 holes, ending at 3 down. Going into the back 9, the lines were going to start getting tighter, and Queen knew he had to play the best he ever played to win this thing. And he missed the first putt on hole 10. Nathan kept his cool, and with McBeth coming up with a bogey on hole 12, Queen was tied for first going into hole 13. And this is where the course really starts to get crazy. All of the next tee shots require perfect throws to hit these tight lines. And Queen stepped up to 13 and split the gap perfectly.
Wow.
Nathan again with a stripe show. I mean,
and then all 3 players cashed crazy putts for birdies.
Drew Gibson, he's probably 75 feet away. Oh, yes.
Talk about applying a little pressure to this guy. I mean,
Nathan, after 2 huge putts, did he get big putted or can he step up and make this one? Ooh. Oh, yes. Wow.
Coming into the final holes of the course, the scores were neck and neck, and Queen really put the pressure on the other guys, throwing literally the perfect shot down the fairway.
Look at that gap. And look at this shot. Oh, my goodness.
Needs to hurry. Never mind.
So good.
And he should have been closer than he really is. I mean,
Gibson was set up for a long putt for birdie, looking like he is about to lose another stroke to Queen.
He loves it again. No way! Drew Gibson! No way!
After Gibson keeps his hopes alive and McBeth takes a par, Queen knocks down his birdie putt to take the sole lead on the card for the first time in the round.
Oh my gosh! How did that one go in? He didn't even use chains.
I love it.
Coming into hole 15, as long as Queen can keep up the pace he's on, he'll be able to shock everyone and take home first place and the $30,000 prize.
I mean, tiny gap. It looks kind of easy just because it's right there in front of you, but then it's all about this right there. He's through, he's happy, and then anything after that is a bonus.
You're ecstatic. He's parked.
After a great drive, he takes a birdie and separates himself from the group with a 2-stroke lead. Nathan is now 3 holes away from winning the biggest prize pool in disc golf history. If he can get through this gap and birdie hole 16, it's going to take an ace to beat him.
You thought the last tee shot was tight? The route that Nathan has to go on this hole is ridiculous. Super tight.
Okay, he's got it and needs to miss these last ones. Oh my goodness. Nathan Queen. Does that do it? Does that seal it?
With the biggest throw in his life, he parked the hole and came out with a birdie.
Ahead of myself here. I'm a little excited right now. That shot was incredible. But in that moment, to step up.
Coming into the final hole, Gibson has to ace this throw to force a playoff or Nathan Queen will win it all.
Each round. He has played essentially a 4-round tournament. And if this were a 4-round tournament with all the players.
After missing his ace run, Queen stepped up and put the tournament in the bag.
That's it.
He's calling it out of it. He's calling it out of his hand. I love this because there's no hold back.
Yeah, he could have thrown him.
And over 7,000 people told him he couldn't do it.